everybody, it's Christine. It is time for Iron Crafters with Peace Craft Love. And I'm sorry I'm going to have to talk a little bit quiet. This is another one of my scrappy times that my husband is still sleeping because it's a weekend. And I can't talk real loudly because he's in the other room. So I'm going to lean right up to the phone here. So this month's item, and Saturn, you're going to have to move, baby. I already told you. This month's item is washi tape, y'all. And I have this picture. It's me by the beach on our vacation this past spring. And it wasn't our last night, but I think it might have been our next last night. And honestly, we were just sitting there enjoying the fire, out looking at the boats and the water. And it was a little bit cloudy. It was honestly the most peaceful time I think I had spent in a long time. So that's just my feet at the fire. And I have these washies here. I don't know 100% about this one just yet, but I have these and they look kind of like fire to me. It came from Simply Gilded. I think they were technically a fall collection, but I'm loving these. So I'm going to use these. And depending on what I decide upon, I may or may not pull these in. I don't know if I like the bows for this layout, because I've also picked out a piece of 49 Market paper from, y'all, let me see here. Which collection? Spectrum Sherbert. I love this circle here because I'm kind of imagining when I put it like maybe right here. And I've got these pieces of scrap paper too. They look like little journaling cards. But if I do anything with them, I'm going to end up tearing them or something, I think. Or doing something like this. Oh, that looks kind of neat. So I might do something like that. And then I'm going to take the washi, I think, and do something behind them. I haven't 100% decided, but that's kind of what I'm leaning toward. I still need to trim that just tad. I also have this piece of white cardstock. Scrap here if I need it. And then I have pulled out also of a 49 Market. I put it away already, but it's just a bunch of chipboards. And I pulled out these little orange bits. I'm going to try to stick a little bit on the monochromatic side is my plan. And I did pull out this scrap batch of papers because I may end up using, actually, maybe that'll do. Maybe I won't use these. Maybe I'll end up using something like this because I kind of like that. That could be pretty. I don't know, y'all. I got to figure it out. So anyway, that's my plan right now, is to do something like these, I think, on here, and use that washi tape behind it some kind of way. So that's where I'm at. I don't think this is going to be a real complicated layout. I mean, I just don't think so. And I'm trying to decide the title. I mean, I want to put like it's perfect here. So I may pull out some tiny little letters that says it's. This almost has to go like this. And they have a little heart and everything. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, y'all. I need to trim this little border strip off too. But anyway, no, ma'am. That's mine. But that's what I'm working with, y'all. I'll be back on in a second. All right, gang. I've actually already mounted the photo. I'd mounted it on the white cardstock I showed you, and then I used that orange scrap paper. And then I've taken that, and that's all I've done for the moment. I will actually add one more mat. And what I decided to do was this kind of, I want to call it basket weave, but it's not really because I don't like go over under. But I'm going to take basically the thicker washi, and I'll do vertical stripes with it. And then I'm going to take the skinny washi, and I shouldn't say skinny. It's not actually all that skinny. It's just thinner, and go in between. And I'm just going to basically build out kind of like a little photo mat behind it. And I'm going to do, I guess it's 5 vertical pieces, and it takes me just a second, y'all, even though technically, I mean, this could have been a very short video because I on purpose used this sheet of paper because it had that mixed media look, all over it. And I think I just love that with 49 Market. Honestly, Vicky Booten has some really great backgrounds and things too that really are good for those of us who basically mess up their mixed media on the regular. So I love this, and I just really enjoyed this monochromatic color scheme I ended up with too. I really enjoyed this. So here's where I'm kind of doing, again, I don't want to call it basket weave because I'm not going over, the vertical pieces, but you can see I'm basically just kind of coming down and creating this, I guess crosshatch maybe might be another good way of saying it. And I love the shimmer, and I'm kind of on purpose going, all the little shimmers are not pointing, or they're not on the same side every time on purpose. So like, for example, sometimes like on the vertical pieces, sometimes it's on the left, sometimes it's on the right. I try to get a little variety in there. And then again, on the horizontal pieces, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down. The point is, I think it looks like fire, and I just love the shimmer and all that kind of stuff on it. So here's kind of what I'm looking at from my photo. And I thought, you know what, I'll tear that journaling card, and I just tear it. And then you almost can't tell there was a tear because I'm going to glue it together, and it's going to become another little photo mat behind my photo here. So I'm just double checking myself, and I'm like, yeah, that looks pretty good, actually. So I'm going to glue it down, and then I'll attach them together, and you really won't even be able to tell it was a little bit bigger piece of paper once I get those overlapped. And it also has a little bit of like almost mixed media looking thing on it. Like the corners have a little bit of, looks like it could have been, paint or ink or something like that. So I like that. It kind of has all this stuff, kind of going together, all this look and everything. So here's where I got my little title, and I do end up saying it's perfect here. And I struggle with this for just a minute because I love that big H loop, and I kind of wanted to go underneath perfect, but the only way that was going to work is if I put it on the left side of the P, and I didn't want that because that's not reading to me correctly. So it's going to end up on the right-hand side, but I'm going to have to organize this just a minute. I pulled this little I out. Y'all, I fight this little thing. I started to put it on top of the washi, and I thought, no, you can't really see it. And so I'll end up shifting the little I over to the left in the little square area in the corner of the washies, because I go, that's not going to show up right there. So it ends up kind of driving how my title looks, which I'm not even sad about it. I actually like how it turned out after I messed with it. But I have to play with this eye, y'all. It's like catching a gnat in a glass of water. I couldn't pick that darn thing up to save my life, even with the tweezers. And I finally get it moved. And so now I've got my It's Perfect here. And then I think I'm looking, what am I looking for, y'all? I don't even remember which letters I'm getting. I have to get I-T. Oh, and I pull out one of the centers of the R's actually becomes my little apostrophe. So I'm going to, sometimes you guys can get creative, right? If you don't have an apostrophe or a period or something like that, look at the center of the letters and see if the maker has like a little piece or something in there you can use. And then the upper left, I'm going to have this Real Life is Amazing. And obviously I didn't have is in the little chipboard pieces. So I'm going to use those same little yellow letters and put them up there. Now that is not exactly how that's going to end up. I kind of messed with this for just a second. And again, I have to mess with these letters and try to pick them up. And y'all, that was definitely a struggle. Look at that, y'all. It's all moving all over the place. I couldn't get it. And I'm going to move those down just a little bit again. I try this little orientation a couple different kind of ways, and I end up stair-stepping it down. So you'll see me move that in just a second. And honestly, guys, that's honestly almost all I do. I'm going to go away in just a second because I'm going to glue everything down. But I do pull out, I do journal. I actually do a little journaling on this one, which is kind of unusual for me. And I actually will also pull out some of my little jewels. I've pulled out of these jewels out a couple times now in the recent layouts, and they don't go with any of these collections, but the colors always kind of go. So you kind of see how that's going on there. And then I'm thinking about this washi tape up here, and I decide, no, I don't want to do that. I think it'll take away from what I got going on behind the picture. So I guess in some sense, y'all, I feel a little bit bad because it's not like I used a ton of washi, but I guess I kind of wanted to show you could use it to bake like a photo mat, behind your photo. And I had another idea at one point to like go across the whole page or something like that, but I really actually like how this turned out. I just think this is really pretty. Oh, I'm going to put foam behind the picture. I do bring that up. I don't, like I said, I don't add any other much embellishments. I kind of wanted to keep it simple because the whole point of documenting this is how peaceful and tranquil and simple this moment was. It was me just sitting in a chair with my feet at the fire, enjoying the view and enjoying the quiet. So the point of this layout is the simplicity of it. So I think that was enough. So I don't really have a lot going on purpose. It's a conscious decision. So again, I'm going to glue these down. I'll cut away in just a second, and then you'll see me pull out the little jewels. And I'll put like 5 in the upper left by the little Real Life title part. And then I'm going to put 3 down toward the bottom. I just kind of get my tweezers out to do that. I don't know what I'm doing right now, y'all. I guess I'm thinking about where I want to put them. Actually, I think what I was thinking about that moment is like, where am I going to journal? Because that's going to drive some of it. And because I almost decided to journal. I almost journaled on the left side of the photo. It does end up on the left, but it's down toward the bottom. Because you notice the paper itself has like some text and some scribble looking stuff. And I didn't really want to mess with that. And I think it'd been hard to read my writing anyway on top of it. So I ended up going below that. But I think it looks, honestly, I'm really, really pleased with this layout. For as little embellishment as it had on it, I think it turned out beautiful. I really love the monochromatic, the orange, because the fire. And I just added my little bit of journaling here. I take a ruler and I drew the lines. It just says, and I was wrong, y'all. I said in the intro it was not our last night. It actually was our last night. I double-checked the date. So it was our last night in San Diego. Greg and I sat by the fire pit on the beach of the hotel. It was so peaceful, and it was the happiest I'd been in a long time. We had a wonderful trip. And then I'm going to actually pull out my date stamp. Y'all, I've been binge watching, well, I shouldn't say binge anymore. I've been watching Sarah Davies. I just love her. She's so inspiring. And she uses that little date stamp on all her layouts, and I like that. So I used a date stamp on this layout. So thank you, Sarah, for the inspiration as always. I'm going to finish up my journaling here. I'm going to cut away. Then you see I have the little stamp and all that. And that's all I'm going to do the layout, you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the playlist because there's other people that play along with our iron crafters. And it's always really fun to see what everybody does with the particular ingredient. And so thank you guys so much. Make sure you do the like and subscribe. And if you comment, I'll say hello. I'm also on Instagram at Scrapping Harden if you want to check it out over there. And we will see you later. Bye.